Chernobyl meltdown and explosion is the worst nuclear disaster the world has ever experienced. On April 26, 1986, about 1:23 am, reactor number 4 overheated and exploded. That released a radioactive cloud that ended up killing 3 people immediately and several thousand directly from radiation. The exact number is still a bit of a debate. It also caused untold troubles for much of Europe. The meltdown created a fear of nuclear power that still exists today, but many of the more interesting and integral facts have not been widely publicized. These are the hidden facts behind the Chernobyl accident, which you may not know. You've got to keep in mind 1986 was still amid the Cold War. The Soviet Union didn't tell the West what was happening right when it happened. In reality, it took them days to tell their possessed individuals to evacuate nearby regions. After the blast, the primary Westerners to know were Swedish atomic plant laborers whose sensors perused tall levels of radiation. Sweden sent out the primary alarm that something was happening. It wasn't until the world pointed their satellites towards what is presently northern Ukraine that we realized what had happened. After the impact, the genuine executioners come within the frame of radioactive isotopes transmitted by dust particles coasting within the discus and falling to the ground. Radioactive iodine is one of the foremost perilous since it can rapidly be collected within the thyroid organ, driving to thyroid cancer and passing. In the event that you've got sufficient characteristic iodine put away in your thyroid, at that point radioactive iodine won't amass. But in case people are starved of characteristic iodine, like those who live in zones of iodine-destitute soils, they are particularly at chance. This is often why help endeavors start by giving iodine pills to individuals in influenced zones attempting to anticipate amassing of radioactive iodine in their bodies. Luckily, Iodine-131 incorporates a half-life of, as it were, 8 days, so the risk does not posture a long-term issue. Likely, the foremost genuine danger is cesium-137 and strontium-90. They have half-lives of 30 and 28, a long time individually. The genuine danger with these two is in their ingestion. Strontium-90 takes after calcium chemistry, so that it is promptly joined into the bones and teeth, especially of youthful children who have gotten drained from bovines devouring sullied scrounge. Cesium-137 parallels potassium chemistry, so it is promptly taken into the blood and may be consolidated into tissues of individuals and creatures. All of this causes genuine well-being issues and passing at different rates. The generally long half-life of both these isotopes still makes them a colossal issue nowadays. As it were, around half of the radioactive fabric has rotted right presently, thus an avoidance zone for security. And not at all, in case you as of now knew that radiation wasn't as, well, terrible in Chernobyl, you might think. It's not awful. Truth be told, there are a few lovely hotspots. These hotspots are more often than not found in splits in and around Pripyat, where the radioactive particles amassed. They're moreover in zones of the ruddy timberland where a parcel of the most aftermath happened as was buried. On 3 events, my Geiger counter went off the charts. Basically, our security faculty told me that I might likely stand around 4 hours laying in that spot sometime recently, capitulating to the dangerous radiation, and after that gradually biting the dust sense of it. It was more time than I thought it would take. But it's nothing to mess around with. There are parts of individuals that live in Chernobyl at diverse times. The apparition town that you just see in most pictures is the feeder city of Pripyat. In hypothesis, no one lives there any longer. In any case, the town of Chernobyl, which is fair over 10 kilometers from the reactor, has inhabitants that cycle in and out on customary interims.